Why do we stay? Why do we stay when every single part of us is screaming to leave? Well, today we're going to go deep. We're going to look into the part of your own mind that can betray you right when you need it the most. We're going to explore these hidden psychological traps that keep us stuck. You know that feeling? That feeling deep in your gut? That quiet little whisper that just won't go away, telling you something is really, truly wrong. It's a feeling so many of us have had, like you're standing on the edge of a cliff, just pretending it's solid ground. You see, these aren't just moments that pass, they're signals. They're the tiny little cracks that show up right before the whole dam breaks. Each one is a piece of this really painful puzzle. And even when we see them, our brain can actively fight to keep us from putting it all together.
And that is the central question, isn't it? It's the one that can just haunt you for years. But I want to be clear. This isn't about being weak. It's not about being unintelligent. No. The answer is so much more complex, and it's buried deep inside the wiring of our own brains.
This right here, this is the core truth we have to unpack. Your brain has these ancient survival mechanisms that, in the world of modern relationships can just backfire in the worst possible way. So let's explore 3 of the most powerful ones.
It always starts at the beginning. I mean, nobody walks into a new relationship seeing a wall of red flags. No, you see something brilliant, something that just pulls you in. And that initial light, it can be absolutely blinding.
Think about it. Maybe they were just incredibly charming or hilarious, or maybe they listened to you in a way that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. Your brain grabs onto that powerful, positive thing, and it puts this halo around the entire person. Our brains are basically pattern-making machines. So once it creates a label like good person, changing it takes a ton of mental energy. So what does it do? It fights to keep that first assessment. It starts explaining away the bad behavior. Oh, that was just an exception, not the rule. It ends up protecting its own initial judgment instead of protecting you. So what happens when that bad behavior just becomes too consistent to ignore anymore? The halo effect starts to flicker and fail. And that's when this internal war really begins. So inside your head, your brain is trying to hold 2 completely opposite ideas at the same time. One is, this person is good, I love this person. The other is, this person's behavior is hurting me deeply. And the tension between those 2 thoughts, it creates this profound psychological pain. This is what that war looks like. On one side, you've got the stories your brain makes up to try and make the pain stop. You blame yourself, maybe I'm too sensitive. You hope for a different future, they'll change. And on the other side is the raw, undeniable truth of what you feel, the hurt, the feeling of shrinking, of becoming small. It's just a brutal tug of war. And here's the crucial part. Your brain's #1 goal is just to stop the pain of that conflict. And a lot of the time, the path of least resistance isn't accepting the devastating truth that someone you love is hurting you. No, the easier path is to rewrite the story and make yourself the problem. It is a defense mechanism. It is not a personal failing. And now we come to the most powerful, the most insidious mechanism of them all. Because if someone were cruel to you all the time, leaving would be simple, but that is almost never how it works. What this really is a pattern of push and pull. It's cruelty followed by kindness. It's cold silence followed by intense affection. That inconsistency, that's not a flaw in the system, that is the system. It's the very thing that makes the dynamic so incredibly addictive. Seriously, think of a slot machine. You don't keep pulling that lever because it pays out every time or because it never pays out. You pull it because you never ever know when the next reward is coming. Your brain gets hooked on the hope of the win. It's just chasing the dopamine rush from that unpredictable good moment. And this right here is the stark reality of it. The good moments are rare, a tiny fraction of the whole experience. But because of intermittent reinforcement, that little 10% becomes incredibly powerful. It's just enough to make you put up with the other 90%, always hoping, always chasing those good times again. This is a hard truth to hear, but it is so necessary. In these kinds of dynamics, the moments of affection, the apologies, they stop being about genuine connection. They start serving a function to reset the cycle, to make sure you don't leave. They are the bait.
Okay, so knowing all this, knowing how your brain is literally wired to be tricked by a halo, to rewrite reality to avoid pain, and to get addicted to hope, what in the world can you do? The way forward, it's not about thinking harder, it's about learning to feel smarter.
See, the answer isn't to try and outthink your own brain. It's to find a way to bypass the stories it keeps telling you. It's about turning up the volume on a quieter, more ancient source of wisdom, your own body, your intuition. These are the first practical steps toward freedom. Stop debating the excuses and just start noticing. Does your stomach clench when their name pops up on your phone? Do you feel this wave of relief when they finally leave the room? That is data. And writing it down, it makes it real, it makes it undeniable. And sharing it with someone you trust, that can break the spell of the isolation. Your mind is an expert storyteller. It's a master of justification. But your body has no agenda. It does not lie. The tension you feel in your shoulders, the shallow breath you take, the bone-deep exhaustion, these are your truest guides. They are the physical proof of the red flags your mind has been trained to ignore. That deep, dark, uncomfortable feeling you've been running from, that is not a sign that you are broken. It is the most honest part of you. It's the place where your truth has just been waiting patiently for you to finally be ready to listen. The way out isn't to run from that feeling. It's to turn towards it and to finally ask what it has to tell you.